There is the ride of Dave Villwock, the Miss Budweiser, the favorite. They came to Arizona hoping to win the opening event of the season. They are the favorites here in this final race. You see that the boats will be milling around a little bit here, getting ready for that final to begin, the all-important start, and really everybody gearing up for that here at this point.
Lane 1 is going to be Mark Webber. He's a master at getting in there. Villwock had been milling in the infield. He hopped out into lane 2. Greg Hopp has the Project X in lane 3. Then Mark Tate and the Freddy's Club in lane 4. George Stratton outside once again in the Appian Geronimo. Very slowly now, cruising at around 120 miles an hour, but they'll pick it up as they turn left and come straight toward us to start, finish, and start the critical winner-take-all final heat. TJ, the winner of this one gets the big trophy. As you can see now, 16 seconds to the start. You must not be early, but if you're late, sayonara, see you later. Especially if you're late behind that red boat, which in each one of the previous 2 heats has opened up a huge lead on the very first lap. Let's see what kind of start Dave Villwock is going to get. He accelerates. Look perfect. Villwock has the lead into this first turn, and you take a look at just how big that lead is from the O'Doul's eye in the sky. Every one of his heat races put away early. This one so far appears to be going the same way, increasing that lead on the backstretch. We talked about how critical acceleration is with these short straightaways, and you saw him come off that first turn and leap out ahead. We understand the start is under review, so stand by for word on that, as Mark Webber in the York Heating and Air Conditioning got squeezed a little bit by the rooster tail there. Your leader, Dave Villwock, being chased by Mark Tate and Mark Webber at this point. Keep in mind that all-important start also means that if they jump the gun, they're a lap behind. So this is a critical issue here, even though it's the first lap of the race, because that red boat could be a lap behind. But we do get word right now that the start was perfect. Miss Budweiser, a legal starter. Mark Tate in the middle of your screen, and the Freddy's Club is running second. Now Mark Webber on the inside, and the York Heating and Air is inside the Budweiser wake. Mark Tate and the Freddy's Club is outside. That could be an advantage for Webber here as they go into the first turn one more time. There's a look at the Appian Geronimo 2 running in this final heat. Everybody still chasing the Miss Budweiser, but problems for the Miss Project X. He got into a rooster tail and shut down and put out the fire, so that's going to put Greg Hopp well back, and with a good start and clean water, he could have been a contender here. He'll have a good season, but it's not going to start today. Unfortunately, you can see that he's about to be lapped, or at least close to it, as Dave Villwock is gaining now on the backstretch. Shows you once again another example of just how powerful that Miss Budweiser boat has been all weekend here on Lake Havasu. We're in the final championship of the Unlimited Hydro's opening race of the season, and the Budweiser already has a commanding lead at this point. The defending champion is not here. Chip Hanauer drove this boat last year, coming out of retirement to drive Miss Miko, and won this event at Lake Havasu. Then he retired again during the off-season. So now it's Greg Hopp, the 1999 Rookie of the Year. As I said, he will have a good season, but today he's been in somebody else's rooster tail a good part of the afternoon. One of the things to talk about here, Dave Villwock has been in control of this race as he has most of the day. It is a little different when you run up front all of the time, or is it? Is there a possibility that he could lose some focus here because he has such an advantage? I haven't seen Dave lose focus, but you're right. He doesn't get very much experience at driving back in the field. Now, he has a good fast boat in front of him because the Project X has restarted and is running just in front of him. Speaking of fast boats, Jim Harvey, with some help from Ronnie Brown, has this Freddy's Club operation really turned up a notch or two for 2000. You see a little bit lower profile to the cowling this year, and it's set off to the side, which is a little wacky when you look at it from the front. Mark Webber and the York Heating and Air will be one of the favorites throughout the season. So we're going to have a lot of great racing, especially when we get onto those big ovals. Dave Villwock and that Miss Budweiser ride in front, but there is an issue just in front of him. You're going to see it right about here, the Miss Project X in front of him, creating that rooster tail. Is it really a problem? Well, it's unusual to see the Project X a back marker, but that's the case right now, and Dave does have to be a little bit careful because there's a rooster tail up there and some rough water. And look at George Stratton's Appian Geronimo. He has lost his tail feathers. The rear wing is gone. The uprights have collapsed, and I don't know if he got hit or that was just the pounding from Lake Havasu. Meanwhile, Mark Tate and the Freddy's Club comes across to finish lap 4. He has a lap to go to a strong second-place finish, and the Freddy's Club team will be very, very happy with that.
And you take a look now at the Miss Project X passing the crippled boat, the Appian Geronimo, for 4th place. That'll be significant in the point standing. So even though he had to restart, able to gain a spot because of the bad break of another team.
Not sure what happened to the Appian Geronimo, but something either hit it in the tail end, but we have seen a lot of damage just from the pounding they're taking here on Lake Havasu.
The O'Doul's Eye in the Sky shows us the leader, Dave Vilwalk, in the U1, the Budweiser boat. He's going to walk away here in Lake Havasu with the victory. An easy win here today for the guys with the Budweiser boat. Freddie's Club Casinos and Mark Tate taking second. A strong boat all weekend. Mark Weber and the York Heating and Air Ride finishing 3rd here in this final. And the Miss Project X boat has got to feel fortunate, taking advantage of Appian Geronimo's problems, ending up in 4th place, even though having to restart here in the final. So it ends up being a 1-boat race at the end. Very competitive, though, for 2nd and 3rd, but